Hi, everyone, and thank you for your presentations. Your presentations are what made this entire thing possible here. And you guys did a very nice job. You followed the directions perfectly. And you can see especially how many employees and the revenue, the tremendous revenue streams these companies are bringing in each year. It is ridiculous to think that these are all York County companies, York County based companies that are employing us and are doing fantastic things, not just for our area, but for the entire nation. Now, all together, our goal is to identify York County businesses that make our area so valuable to not only our region, but the entire country. And also, my other side objective here to this is I want us to see what kind of businesses are out there that you might want to work for someday. I want you to understand like what all opportunities are out there for you that York County provides. And also with this, if these businesses didn't exist here in York, we'd have to leave and find work elsewhere. Like, we can't stay in a place, live in a place that doesn't have jobs for us. So these businesses are ultra important for us to live and stay in a place like York. And that's what makes York so fantastic is not just the schools, not just the family atmosphere, but also the tremendous amount of job opportunities we have here that are good job opportunities that can last for a lifetime. So here we go. First one here, St. Onge Company is a warehouse development company. They're an engineering firm that designs warehouses. I didn't know anything about them until a couple years ago, but what's ridiculous is they design warehouses for Nike, Under Armour, Pepsi, Starbucks, and a bunch of others here. And you can see every single one of these companies here, from the Home Depot to Hershey's to Liz Claiborne, Sony, Coca-Cola, Harley-Davidson, Under Armour, Dell. All these companies have worked with St. Onge to create warehouses to be able to move their stuff from place to place to place to store their stuff and then eventually move it to their clients. But this is just a warehouse design company. You're never going to see their name anywhere. They're not going to put their name on a product, but they work with all these companies. So basically, if anybody needs a warehouse built, they go to the St. Onge company to do it. Now, they have 114 employees and they make about 24.5 million a year. But they make these warehouses and state-of-the-art warehouses that are just to the specification of what those companies need. Hanover Foods is a canning company, and they can vegetables, peas, beans, corn, carrots, other things. But you can go into the grocery store, and you can see Hanover Foods up and down that canned vegetable aisle. But that company started back in 1924 and is still one of the nation's bigger canning companies in the entire nation. Good revenue of $3.1 billion a year. Pretty crazy how much money they make there at that place. York Wall Coverings. This is a place that when I first think about like wallpaper is not exactly that popular anymore, but I don't always think about like hotels. When you go to a hotel, you see wallpaper all over those walls. And this is classy, solid, good wallpaper that they make. And it actually is even in the White House right now. When Trump went into the White House, he actually redesigned different rooms in the White House, and they used some York wall coverings wallpaper in the White House right now. So they rushed in there as soon as he became president to redesign some things, and they put in the new wallpaper. But they're one of the biggest wallpaper companies. They are the largest wallpaper company in the entire United States, and estimated revenue of $2.2 million they make in money each year. Harley-Davidson, not a York company originally, started in 1906, but in 1973, Harley expanded and they acquired the AMF Cycle Company. They then started up the York branch, which is still operating today. And a great company, has some fantastic benefits and fantastic jobs. There are 1,500 jobs in York. We are lucky to have Harley here. And once in a while, Harley reorganizes, and we always worry about will they continue to do business in York. And luckily, they do treasure that, and they honor that. They honor us with staying in York and trusting our craftsmanship. Voith Hydro is another company that, until a few years ago, I knew basically nothing about. It's born out of S. Morgan Smith's turbine technology that he started back in the 1880s and 1890s. And now they are a hydroelectric turbine company, and they build just gigantic pieces, as you can see right here. But they produce and they harness water power to produce electric for us so that we can electrify our homes and our businesses. Now, huge company altogether. when it comes to especially their revenue. 4.2 million a year, employs over 500 people, has a wonderful, beautiful plant out in West York that you should see someday. But they make some amazing, amazing things. And when they take one of these turbines down the highway, they basically have to shut down the highway just to be able to move that piece of technology. Gladfelter Insurance Group was started by Arthur Gladfelter back in 1951. He was an insurance guy, and he realized there was a deficiency in the insurance market, especially when it came to emergency personnel, like police officers, ambulance drivers, firefighters. And so he decided to start tailoring his insurance plans to their needs. And so Gladfelter Insurance became one of the biggest emergency personnel insurance companies in the entire country. Sadly, last year they sold to AIG, so they're no longer just independent. Now Gladfelter Insurance is owned by AIG, but they still are being run under the Gladfelter name. So great, great company started by a great man and also a guy who also loved York County history and wanted to share it every chance he got. Annual revenue of 250 million and also has 500 workers there. And they're headed up right on Leader Sites Road, right across from the new sheets. Wolf Home Products started out as a dry goods and lumber business back in 1843. Now they are a kitchen, cabinetry, and a bath and building product company. They have 553 employees. They're out of the Mount Wolf area, but they also have some different branches within East York and West York. They make kitchen cabinets and very fine kitchen cabinets and bathroom materials and building materials. But a wonderful company. It was actually run by Tom Wolf. The company was passed down to Tom Wolf, our current governor, and he ran it until he became the governor of our state. Rudders was started back in 1747 in York as Conrad and Jane Rudder purchased land in North York to make a farm. And then from there, they expanded their land, they expanded their farm. They started a dairy sales business in 1929, and they created Rudders Farm Store in North York. And then from there, it grew into a beverage, primarily a milk and an iced tea and a lemonade, as well as a gasoline company, not beverage related. But Rudders has taken a new form today, but it all started from just a farm back in North York in 1747. Has 2,000 employees and a revenue of 30 million a year. Wolfgang Candy is a chocolate company and started off in 1929 by the Wolfgang family. And now it's primarily a fundraising chocolate company. So, like for elementary kids that need to do a fundraiser, they might sell Wolfgang chocolate. But still, the company employs 82 people in York and has a revenue of $9.2 million. So they're doing pretty well for themselves, even though they're a small company. Here's some of the chocolates they produce. Dentsply is a dental company. Started in 1899 in New York City, but they opened up their branch in 1907 in York to make false teeth and other forms of materials for the mouth. And now they make dentures. They still make false teeth. They make all sorts of things such as dentist products. And every time I go to the dentist, I look around and I try to see if I can find a Dentsply product, and I usually could find one each and every time. So you see a dentist chair right here that's kind of new age. You see the different tools that they use, but it is dentistry equipment. They employ in York still today 260 employees, and the entire company, not just in York, but the entire company of Dentsply Sirona has a revenue of almost $4 billion. And last one here is BAE Systems. BAE used to be United Defense, and it started off in 1943. It's now owned by a Swedish company, but it still operates in York, and they make in York some huge military vehicles. The Bradley Fighting Vehicle, which is basically a tank, and also the Gladiator Recovery Vehicle. So these are two vehicles that our military uses heavily within our fighting today. And we still have today with BA, we have 2,000 jobs here in York, and the entire company has a $10 billion revenue, but an awesome company that's located out in West York, kind of in the region where Voith Hydro also is and part of Wolf Home Products. But we have some amazing companies in York that we don't necessarily always pay attention to, but companies where you can have a ton of pride in your work and companies and jobs where you can truly make it a lifetime. Like you can make that job something you do forever and you keep on climbing in that company. So York County is fortunate to have places like this and to have business like this that support us and allow us to live here and enjoy good lives here. All right, thank you. You will have some of these come up. The last one there is Graham Packaging Company, which I already talked about with you before. But again, they make different plastics and pseudoplastics that you could see up and down the grocery store aisles, but you'll never see the Graham name on anything because it's always about whatever product that is being packaged. And so if it's Whisk laundry detergent, you're not going to see the Graham name. It's just going to be Whisk. But they're the ones that make the plastic packaging for it. So no assessment today, but you will have some of these come up on tomorrow's quizzes. So just be ready for that. All right. Have a good day.